I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that Pioneer's come out with new radios for their next line. We have one with us right now. This is the AVIC 7201NEX, which has replaced the 7200NEX. What we usually see with manufacturers in their new radios every year is they change the name a little bit. So the 7200NEX replaced the 7100NEX, the 8200NEX replaced the 8100NEX. So usually they change, Pioneer changes the second number, but they kept the 7200 and just added a 1 at the end. And a lot of you might be wondering, what does the 1 stand for? Why didn't they change the whole name if they updated the entire radio? And the 1 comes from not an update with the radio itself, but now they add a backup camera with the radio. So they didn't change the radio, they just give you something extra. We were a little disappointed when we went to CES earlier this year and we went to the Pioneer booth and they didn't have new NEXs, they just had the 01 NEXs, and we found out that they're the same exact radios, just added the backup camera that comes with it. I'll show you guys what I mean. Let's unbox this, alright? Alright, this is where you get that 1 from. This is the backup camera that all the 01 NEX models are coming with right now. It's Pioneer's ND-BC8 backup camera. It's a pretty good backup camera. It's universal, so it'll fit in any radio as long as it has a backup camera input. Parking grid guidelines, HD video, retails for about $100 usually. We also got the extension to run through your car, to the dash, to the back. Instruction manuals. And then the interesting part. Inception, it's a box inside a box. So they did, this is the 7200NEX that they put inside the box for the 7201NEX. We want to show you that we're not ripping you guys off if you buy this and you find out it's a different kind of radio than you thought would be. We're not going to review the 7200NEX right now. We've already done that in the past. We did that last year. Click up top to check out that video. The 7200NEX is one of the best radios on the market right now. It's really advanced. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, HD radio, HDMI input, dual USB, built-in navigation, Sirius XM ready, iDialing Maestro support, Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, control all your apps with it. Built-in DVD player. It's a motorized 7-inch screen. It's a really great radio. It's the second best radio that Pioneer makes. The top of the line is the 8200NEX. The only difference between the 8200NEX and the 7200NEX is the capacitive touchscreen on the 8200NEX, which is pretty much comparable to your smartphone. It's really awesome. But the clear resistive touchscreen on the 7200NEX is still great. In terms of actual improvements and upgrades to the radios themselves of the new NEX line, not counting the backup camera, Pioneer says that they've improved the UI of the iDialing interface for when you're going through all your car connections and gauges and tire pressure, all that stuff. And they've updated the firmware, which you can already do if you own a NEX already. So if you already have a 7200NEX that you bought before the 01s came out, all you have to do is download the new firmware, which came out in February, and you'll have the same firmware update as the new lines. New line. Not to downplay the radio at all, it's a great stereo to buy if you can afford it, but we feel like they may have dropped the ball, and to make up for it, they're giving you the backup camera and they changed the name in the box. Like when you open this up and pull the radio out, it still says 7200NEX on the radio itself. I wouldn't say Pioneer is trying to mislead people. I mean, they didn't change the full name, they just added the 1 at the end, so you kind of get the idea that it's the same radio. But this video is just to clear up any questions in the air. It's the same radio as last year, but since it's such a great radio, is that really such a bad thing? Hopefully next year they'll get a whole new line of 7300, 8300 NEXs for us, and we can't wait for that. If you guys have any more questions about the differences between the NEX, or if you need help getting one, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to go to qualitymobilevideo.com for all of your car audio and video gear. We sell all this shit online. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, click that like button, and thanks for watching. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard that Pioneer's come out with new radios for their next line. We have one with us right now. This is the AVIC 7201NEX, which has replaced the 7200NEX. What we usually see with manufacturers in their new radios every year is they change the name a little bit. So the 7200NEX replaced the 7100NEX, the 8200NEX replaced the 8100NEX. So usually they